Hey everyone, my name's Jordan from Jordan Ferrer Photography, and today I'm going to show you the top 10 tips that helped my family make the most of our cruise on the Disney Wish. For those that don't know me, I'm a wedding and portrait photographer based in Los Angeles who also really loves to travel. The Disney Wish is Disney Cruise Line's newest ship with its inaugural sailing in 2022. The ship can hold 4,000 passengers, has 1,254 staterooms, and is currently making trips between Port Canaveral, Florida, and the Caribbean. The ship has 3 rotational dining restaurants, 2 specialty restaurants, 1 buffet, and a food court that has 5 food stands. Let's jump into the tips. I broke this down into 2 categories: pre-trip and on the cruise. One tip I have is that when you're checking in, you can either choose the early dining time at 5:45 p.m. or the late dining time at 8:15 p.m. We chose the 8:15 p.m. dining time, and that worked really well for us. My family really likes to stay out at the Port of Call as long as possible, pretty much until the boarding time. And so when we got back on the ship around 3 or 4 o'clock, all we really wanted to do was rest, wind down, get ready, shower, and hang out. So the 8:15 p.m. dining time did allow us to do all that and then go into dinner refreshed. Another tip I have is to book your excursions through a third-party company when you're not on Castaway Cay. We used a company called Viator to book our excursion in Nassau. I definitely recommend the Rum, Reggae, and Rhythms tour, which was an adults-only tour of the city, and it included visiting a chocolate factory, a cigar-making factory, a winery, and also a rum distillery. Another tip I have is to book Disney transfers from the airport. It's $39 per person each way, and while it's not necessarily the cheapest option, it is definitely the most efficient. They'll handle all your bags, and if in the off chance something goes wrong, Disney will help make it right and go above and beyond. Disney customer service is honestly one of the best customer services out there. The last pre-trip tip that I have for you is to download the Disney Cruise Line app before you board. It includes a map, a list of all the activities that happen throughout the ship during the day, as well as onboard messaging and more. Let's move on into the tips when you're on board the ship. When you first board the ship, most people just go straight to lunch at the top deck where the buffet is. But one tip that people don't really know about is that if you go to the Arendelle restaurant, which is one of the sit-down rotational dining restaurants, they will actually serve you a sit-down lunch, and it's not as crowded as the buffet above. My next tip is to eat at Palo Steakhouse. Palo Steakhouse is a specialty, adults-only Italian-themed restaurant based on Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast. Palo was definitely the tastiest restaurant that we had on board, and it had great value. The meal was not included as part of the cost of the cruise. However, we did have a $150 promotional credit that we used to cover the cost of the meal, and it covered nearly all of it for the 3 adults in our group. I also recommend that you buy from the a la carte menu rather than the pre-fee menu, being that the pre-fee menu has less options and gives you a little bit less portions. For this same price, you could be super full like we were, eating calamari, pappardelle pasta, ossobuco, beef tenderloin, and this amazing chocolate souffle. The next tip I have is to buy souvenirs at Castaway Cay. Whether you are a Disney collector or just love Disney products and apparel, these items are unique and not found anywhere else. Here's a bonus tip for Castaway Cay. Do the 5K run that they have. It's free, you'll get to explore the island, and when you're done, you'll get an awesome 5K completion medal. The next tip I have is to ride the Aqua Mouse on the first half of your trip rather than the second half. When we rode the Aqua Mouse on the first half of the trip, we just walked right onto the ride, but when we did it on the second half, we waited about 30 minutes. The next tip I have is to watch the Disney movies that are in the Disney movie theaters on the cruise. I was also told by a cast member that if they have a new Disney release coming up, it'll actually be played on the cruise first the night before being released to the theaters, and that's pretty cool. The last tip I have for you is to attend the nightly entertainment. Honestly, the nightly entertainment never disappointed. One night we were watching a Broadway version of Aladdin, and the other night we were watching the pirate show with the fireworks at sea. Now the fireworks at sea is so unique because Disney Cruise Line is the only cruise that does fireworks at sea. It's so cool because you get to see fireworks shooting off the side of the ship, and it's almost as good as the ones that they have at their Disney parks. I definitely recommend that you check it out. Overall, we were really impressed with the Disney Cruise Line and the Disney Wish. From the food, to the onboard amenities, to the staff, to everything in between, there's really no other way to describe our trip aside from magical. If you've been on the Disney Wish, what are your top tips? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.